So, trade recap. We have not done one of these in a really, really long time. And the crazy part is, this video is going to be about a loss that we just took on Amazon. So let's go through it. On yesterday's live stream, we marked out that Amazon could potentially be bearish or consolidating today. And we were pretty much consolidating for the day. Either ways, we had our draws and liquidity marked out, 4-hour lows sitting within here, 4-hour highs sitting within here. On the hourly time frame leading into market open, we were also very much bearish still on the hourly time frame. Either ways, we had no hourly lows. As you can tell, there were just no hourly lows sitting within here leading into market open. And then also hourly highs, we had already swept out these previous hourly highs sitting within here. So the only other hourly highs that we had were these hourly highs sitting within here. Boom. Hopping down to the 5-minute time frame, what had happened leading into market open was that we came down and we swept out these 4-hour draws and liquidity. And for me, I was going to be saying, okay, fuck it. We're going to take a nice little long position with this on the ride back up if the market gives us an opportunity. Either ways, we broke structure to the upside directly after that at 9:35. And we had created all of our imbalances. Now I'm going to be marking these out and it's going to look like a bunch of fucking squares. I normally don't have squares on my screen, but I guess just for this recap, we're going to have a bunch of fucking squares on our screen. We create a 5-minute order block sitting within here, and we're just going to mark this out in green. And then we also created a 5-minute breaker block sitting within here as well. Mark this out in blue. Cool. What happened after that is we immediately fed back down into the breaker block, but we did not push above the order block, which I should have judged it more correctly, but lessons learned, correct? So either ways, we pushed right back down into the breaker block at 9:40, up and down to the 1 minute. What happened after that? We immediately broke structure back up to the upside, sitting within here at 9:52. And this is when I took my position, was on the 9:53 candle. And of course, my stops for this were underneath this 1 minute low. I'm just going to mark it out right here. 1 minute low sitting within here. I could have had my stops underneath this 5-minute low, but the risk to reward would have just been thrown the fuck off completely. And that 5-minute low is where I call my quote unquote kill zone. And it's just a place where I just like don't want to see price push underneath, give or take on my bias. So I'm just going to mark this out as the kill zone. Leo. Either ways, I hopped into my position here at 9:53. My stops are underneath this 1 minute low. So yes, I know that we could have waited for another blue bullish candle out of this 1 minute breaker block, but since we had already came down on the 5-minute time frame after breaking 5-minute structure to the upside, and we were just retesting the 5-minute confluences, we were just gonna, I was just gonna wait for a 1 minute break to the upside and enter right off that 1 minute break, which I did. Take full responsibility for that. My stops were underneath this 1 minute low. And then, of course, price came down and we did invalidate the fuck out of this 1 minute order block and this 1 minute breaker block. So I wasn't even going to sit around and wait for another 1 minute break to the upside and then another 1 minute retest and then a potential move back up. I was just going to call this trade the only trade that I was going to take for the day. And we did. So, and then as you can tell, immediately we come down and we fucking push with this nice BBC down to the downside, multiple BBCs to the downside, stopped me right out of my position. Price recycled right back on up. We pushed right back into the hourly bearish order block and then the hourly bearish fair value gap sitting within here. We didn't have enough momentum to push us right up to the hourly draws on liquidity, but we did have enough momentum to push us right back into hourly confluences. Unfortunately for me, I was fucking ding-donged out of this shit. And then price kind of recycled right back on up. That would have been a really nice risk to reward to hit, but you know, is what it is. Like Fucking risk was handled, execution was good. Just fucking price just took a fucking shit immediately after that entry. So that being said, I think that going into tomorrow, we're going to just be doing this minimal risk still and just obeying the same exact strategy. So there you go. Here's the trade recap. Catch you guys later. This is